Long-haul planes usually fly just that, long-haul. Today, however, we're flying long-haul business class on one of the world's shortest flights, on board the A350. But first... Good morning guys, welcome to Krakow. This is the main square where we're starting our journey today. The most important thing to remember, and is why you've clicked this video, oh hello, we're going to be heading over to the airport to go and catch our first flight today. It's a slightly different feel at the minute. We're in amongst the epicenter in Europe really of the coronavirus. One of the most challenging things to do, to vlog one-handed and ride one of these electric scooters. I genuinely do not know how Casey did it. Hey, how's it going? Have a good day. Welcome to Krakow International Airport. Now I've got to work out where to go because this is arrivals. Typical behaviour. Right, let's get in. You're probably wondering where our first flight is going to, and well, let's explain. We're going to go first of all to Munich, to Germany, because that's where we're catching our main flight today. The interesting thing is that as of tomorrow, Germany is going to be going into a full lockdown. I've literally pushed this to the absolute last minute. It should be interesting traveling today. I imagine it's going to be quite busy because a lot of people are going to be rushing back home before the lockdown properly starts. Fast track today, so let's go through here. So, welcome to the business lounge. Unfortunately, the regulations in Poland at the minute mean that you cannot have food, only drink. So, I think I'll help myself to a nice coffee. Got a view of the wonderful Ryanair. And then, yeah, I can't see the Lufthansa flight I'm taking just yet. But we're a little bit early. Got another sort of, at least another hour before boarding. After a short investigation, it appears that you can't have drink either, so no coffee for me. I've had to improvise, and today I've had to go and bring my own coffee into the lounge. But you know, when there are challenges, we overcome them. So cheers. No slammers today, sadly. Right, well that was acceptable. I mean, it was just a quiet place to hang out. Obviously having my own coffee made a slight difference. Stupidly expensive as well. Anyway, we're supposed to be going to gate 5 over to Munich, which is just over here. Not boarding just yet, but it says please wait. And we're on a pretty small plane today as well, so I'm quite excited. Now we're flying business class on this route, although I'm not sure what they actually offer in terms of business class. There isn't a difference in seating between business and economy, so it'd be interesting to see what this soft product is, as in what service is different today on this flight. It's a remote gate again today, so we will catch this bus, which I actually quite like because I really enjoy being able to see the airport from the perspective of driving around the runway. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I'm a massive nerd when it comes to flying. How cool is this, right? Obviously I'm going to be the last one on. Hello. Hi. Thank you. You're welcome. You can see here just how few people were on board today. Anyway, within just a few minutes we pushed back and were airborne. I love takeoff from Krakow, as you can usually make out the Tatra mountains in the distance. It is a welcome on board today's flight. We're on the CRJ 900 today, which is aptly named the pencil plane by a lot of people, which does always make me laugh. Let's check out what we've got today in terms of food. Pretty good, to be honest, for a short hop. I'm very impressed. Now, of course, it's not going to be as substantial as a longer flight, but for an hour's flight, the meal service today has been fantastic. The staff are really awesome. They seem to be cool enough with me filming as well. That's one thing I always am quite cautious about on a lot of airlines at the minute, where they'll use plastic cutlery, they won't use, they'll use plastic cups. Everything here, got a china cup. I'd actually quite like to have this, but I'm obviously not going to nick it. It's a very quiet flight today. There are literally only, I think, around 15 people on board. The business area is also pretty quiet, but one thing to note is you do get the seat next to you blocked. So there's not too much else to report on today's flight. Obviously, we're flying into Munich and we're going to be checking out the Lufthansa lounge. As well as that, we're also going to be flying on another aircraft that I'm really, really excited about, the A350-900, which is a very obscure route that I'm taking. So we'll more on that in a minute. Right, well that was actually pretty straightforward. I just had to explain that I'm flying on another flight and I'm not going to enter Germany. Now let's go find where the lounges are. Interestingly, that Germany is actually going to be imposing a form of lockdown as of tomorrow. So it means that the lounges will close as of tomorrow. So this is actually the last opportunity for the foreseeable future when I'm going to get a chance to go into the Lufthansa lounge. Right, let's try this out for size, see what it's like. I haven't been here for quite a few years now. Now at the moment, they offer what you can see here, like a buffet service, but it's not self-serve. And then you also, yeah, okay. That went really well, didn't it? A little bit of trouble. Anyway, I don't think they like me filming in here at all. Probably a little sad, but one of my highlights of being here, a German pretzel. I mean, it'd be nice if it was warm, but the lounge does feel pretty similar to usual. It's obviously social distancing, just such as you can see around over here, like every other desk is blocked out, and the same goes for the seating as well. I'm here now for a couple of hours. Should be meeting up with a friend as well in just a bit. I'm going to enjoy this, catch up on some work, and then we have the delights of the A350 to fly. I've now made it over to my gate. Of course, it really doesn't need any introduction. The A350 that we're flying now over to Frankfurt. And would you look who I have run into behind me? Andy, you excited, mate?
Yes, of course.
We can't wait. The fact that this is an hour's flight on an aircraft that would usually fly for many more hours, usually 6-7 hours. The other thing that's interesting today, and you were explaining to me just now, is that this is actually repositioning over to Frankfurt to replace the 747s and the A340s. So you'll be seeing this en routes from Frankfurt for some of the North American routes, I guess. Separate boarding gate, that's really cool to see. Oh, this is exciting. You really can never beat getting on board a wide-bodied aircraft, and especially having a separate entrance inside. So cool. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Not too bad. How about you?
Very well,
It's the second night to
Thanks
your
so
right.
much. Hey, welcome aboard. Thank you. Look at this. First impressions are, there's a lot of seats going on. Right, we are in here. Well, welcome aboard. It's certainly strange. We're on a very short flight. With this amount of legroom, it certainly beats the flight from Krakow. And I have to say, even though I've read a lot about this before flying it, and it's not the most competitive business class going, for a short hop, it's up there as some of the best that you can have. So super quickly, I'm not sure if anyone's going to be sitting here yet, so I thought I'd make the most of it. This is the middle seats here that you get on the A350. Not really my first choice, of course, because all of the seats are couple seats. So if you're traveling as a couple, you would want to go for a window seat. On a night flight like tonight, of course, it wouldn't make a huge difference in terms of not being able to see that much out the windows. Division here is a little bit strange. This, Andy was just showing to me that you can move this across like so. Sorry about that, sorry. Didn't expect that to happen. What do we have here? I assume this is where your table and in-flight entertainment is. And of course you can adjust the seat, it goes fully flat. But the problem, of course, as I say, is your feet. So if you're travelling here with someone else, other than someone that you know, it could be a little bit awkward. So just here we've got a premium economy section, and there's a mini cabin here for business class. And then we carry on through here. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
And this is my cabin where I'm sitting in the main cabin. By looking at it, I think you probably are better off in this one. Should have kicked your feet, mate.
You shall not pass.
Being able to watch the flight from different perspectives is just super cool. I mean, obviously when these first came out years ago, I think Emirates were one of the first to offer it on board. It's not a day flight to fully experience it. But anyway, we will stick on this one, yeah? No. We will stick on this one for takeoff. I should be able to get some good shots.
Very short flight to Frankfurt. Contact my name, I'm the captain here on board. My colleague is the cockpit first officer, Mr. Schmal.
Before we even levelled out, food service began. Yes, on this super short flight, there's still full service. Top marks lofty. The food wasn't great though, but I will give them some lenience given it's only a 45-minute hop. And what's more, there's full alcohol service, so of course there was champagne. So guys, it is a welcome on board, or should I say, we've already been on board quite a bit in terms of how long this flight is. This flight is literally 1 hour, but I wanted to just quickly explain to you what the experience is like today. So I'm actually incredibly impressed with what we've got today on this flight. Bearing in mind it is a 1 hour flight, by the time you've actually reached altitude, dinner service has pretty much been completed and we've had to literally very quickly eat our food, had some champagne, actually already started our descent into Frankfurt. The great thing about today, of course, with a lot of airlines, they are amending their service to reflect COVID restrictions, but that Lufthansa do still offer a full service in the sense that you get stuff served on one tray, albeit, but you get china plates and proper silverware, unlike British Airways is plastic cutlery and just get a bag with a sandwich in it. Today's flight has been very good, albeit extremely quickly. It's been great to fly with my friend over here, Andy. Have you enjoyed your flight, mate? We were actually saying when we were about to take off how it almost feels when you travel on these short haul flights that it's almost like you're going much further afield because it's a wide body aircraft that you would usually have on a long haul flight over to, say, the US. In terms of trying this again on a longer haul flight, it's definitely something that I would like to do, although I am aiming to try Lufthansa's first class probably next month at some point. Let me put my seatbelt on and I'll catch up with you guys in Frankfurt. Right guys, so welcome to Frankfurt. That was a super quick but super exciting flight and a cool taster of what it's like to fly on Lufthansa's business class. Now, interestingly, it's not a hugely competitive business class, but from what I experienced today, I think if you're traveling as a couple, I think it's an absolutely fine business class proposition. Of course, the other thing to remember is that most people traveling in business class most likely are traveling solo, so it's not a particularly competitive product in that respect. Other things to note as well, I found the in-flight entertainment screen particularly strange, how it kind of popped out. Anyway, with that said guys, do let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do make sure you smash that subscribe button as well for plenty more content like this on the channel. I will catch you guys again very soon on our next flight, of course, every single week. Ciao.